Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ruth and I'm a member of St Peter's Church Nelworth. For the past week, I've been thinking a little about community and what community means during the current COVID-19 pandemic. This all started last weekend when my husband and I had a barbecue, and it was the first time ever in our relationship that we'd barbecued for only the two of us. Like many of you, any hot weather and barbecue is an excuse to have friends and family over, open a few bottles of wine, and share about what's going on in our lives. So, whilst it was lovely being out in the sunshine, it was also very poignant as we thought about all the friends and family we wish we could have invited. Whenever I think about community, I think about a few verses in Romans 12, which were read at our wedding, and we're very lucky to have been gifted a framed copy that we keep in our living room. And I just wanted to share a couple of verses with you today. Share with God's people who are in need, practice hospitality. And then later on it says, rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn, live in harmony with one another. And I think for me that sums up what we should be aiming for as God's community and is really important during this current time. For many of us, our communities may feel smaller at the moment. We're only socialising with the people in our household. We're leaving the house much less. And for people who live alone, it can be a particularly lonely and daunting time. But I think I've reflected a little bit on actually how our communities have changed, particularly in some positive ways. I've been speaking to many people through work, and as one lady said to me, I didn't think we had a community here until this happened, but now every day I get a phone call to ask whether I need shopping, medication delivering, or whether I just need somebody to talk to if I'm lonely. And like many of you, we've moved on to virtual communities with Zoom, WebEx, and Skype. And actually, many of us have had an opportunity to catch up with those people who we've been saying for a long time that we would. Last week, we had an intercontinental Zoom with all of my husband's family, stretching from India through to the UK and over to America. And it really was a chance to rejoice with those who rejoice, with 2 new babies recently having been born, and also to mourn with those who mourn. Speaking about the difficulties, speaking about people who've lost loved ones, and people who are struggling with the current crisis. And it really was a time to share our hopes and our fears, the positives and the negative. And living in harmony with one another. It's been absolutely fantastic to see all the thoughts of the day and to see so many faces from church that I normally wouldn't get to see. And I think that this is something that we really need to focus on during the current pandemic, is living in harmony. And I think it's something that we are achieving. I hope that at the end of this, we can all reflect on how we made the best of this situation and how our communities are all the more stronger for it. So stay inside, stay safe, and don't forget to wash your hands.